What's up guys, it's Nolan here with OAKOS Automotive, back with another video. And today we're taking a look at fitting a set of wheels and tires on a Toyota GR86. So a little overview of what we're working with here today. This is the Enki RPF1 in 17.9 plus 45 in the OAKOS Matte Bronze finish. For tires, we're going with the Hankook Ventus RS4, and that's going to be in a 245/40/17. So this tire and wheel spec is generally accepted as being kind of good all-arounder, like track/street car setup. The caveat being that you get into the weird kind of front to rear fender differences with the second gen, in this case GR86, but also the BRZ as well. Once we go to the accessories we're adding onto these, I'll kind of explain that and the fitment details a little bit more. But then as far as tires go, it's the Hankook Ventus. It's one of the popular 200 tread wear options available. This one's kind of like, I like to say, mid-pack as far as lap times go, but the trade-off is that you're going to get a lot of life out of it. You're going to get, more laps overall, even if they're maybe a little bit slower than the faster tires that are available at the similar price and size. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the wheels and tires themselves go. We'll scoot these out of the way here, and I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of the accessories we're going with to install in conjunction with these. All right, so as far as installation accessories goes, we've got a couple things here. First off, the typical hub-centric ring. So as most people know, the aftermarket wheels are gonna have an oversized hub bore compared to the vehicle. In this case, it's 73 for the Enki RPF1s. So we just got 56.1 to 73 hub-centric rings there to kind of help center the wheel up when you're installing it. Moving on from there, we decided to go with an extended lug stud on this car. So these are the 3-inch ARP wheel stud or lug studs here. And that is going to basically go in conjunction with a pair of front spacers. So to get into the fitment of kind of the second gen BRZ and GR86, you have a little bit of a discrepancy in whether it be track width or fender width, front to rear. What that looks like is you actually have about 10 millimeters more to play with in the front of the car than you do the rear. So where that also matters is as far as inner strut clearance. So with a typical wheel of this size, like a 17.9 plus 45, you end up actually very close to the stock strut and actually some types of coilovers as well. So to combat that, you can do a 10 mil spacer in this case. Some people do 8 mil, which also works well, but I think 10 mil is kind of the sweet spot as far as getting the fitment correct front to rear, and those longer studs allow you to run the spacer while still having the amount of thread contact that's required for safety, basically. In addition to all of that, of course, with a longer stud like this, you need a longer open-ended lug nut. That's where the Muteki SR48s come in. It's a nice 48 millimeter long open-ended lug nut here. You'll have kind of the tip poking through. Really cool race car stuff. Good forged steel, of course, with those. So that pretty much wraps up our whole set of accessories here. We're gonna get the car off the ground and start taking some stuff apart. Obviously, we have to install the wheel studs, and then we can put the wheels on the car as well. Okay, so we got all our extended wheel studs installed here on this corner. Just as a little demonstration and why you'd want to do this. Here's your stock length stud off the vehicle there. Once that's installed, it ends up more or less, I'd say about there. So by the time you add on your, in this case, 10 mil spacer, and you put the stud, lives about there, add your wheel onto that, you know, we're guesstimating here, but you end up with, what, 5 threads maybe left. So not exactly an ideal amount of lug nut thread engagement. Maybe it'll work, you know, maybe you can drive down the road, but definitely in track use environments or even just over time, it's certainly not ideal and you're certainly asking for trouble. So definitely go with these. We do have them in 2.5 inch length if you don't want to go all the way to 3. I recommend the 3, but all options work. So anyways, here's where we end up with the 10 mil spacer here. Still plenty of thread left to stick through the wheel and of course to stick through our new lug nuts as well. So with the 10 mil spacer on here, we're all done, at least with this front corner. So I'm gonna do the other front side really quick, and then we're gonna move on to the rear. All right, so moving on to the rear studs here. This one is a little bit more involved than the front. Same sort of procedure. We gotta take the caliper and rotor off, but then we actually have to take the hub off of the knuckle. So I'll get that all apart, and then we'll take the hub over to the bench and do the studs over there. That guy is done. Looks good. Can put it back in. All right, that's the rear hub all back together with our new studs as well. We don't actually need the longer studs in the rear because we're not going to be running a spacer, but it's still nice to have the stronger stud regardless and to get the extra thread engagement on the lug nut. So we do those in the rear too. But now that's front and rear all done, so we can go ahead and get the hub rings ready and the wheels ready and put those boys on. Come on, keep going down, keep going down. No, that's it. All right, we got the car back down on the ground now, looking really good with its new wheels and tires. Of course, there's a little bit of a ride height situation going on here, but this car is looking to be baselined on the track a little bit as basically all stock other than what we just did to kind of feel it out and have a progression path rather than changing a bunch of stuff before you even drive it at all. So that's all fine and well. Car still looks great with this wheel fitment. Again, this was the 17x9 45 RPF1, and that's a 245/40 tire on there. I think it turns out really well. It's like nearly perfect fitment in the rear with no spacer or anything else going on, and then it's mostly flush in the front, but once you add some camber in, it'll be like totally perfect there. If you have any questions about wheel fitment or you're looking for wheels for your BRZ or GR86, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email, browse the website. We have lots of wheels and tire options in stock. We can put together a whole package for you just like this and put them on the car. But yeah, let us know what you think about the wheel and tire setup in the comments. Let us know if there's any other sizes or wheel and tire combinations you want to see test fitted. We got a whole warehouse full of stuff that we can show off. But in the meantime, we're gonna wrap this video up and we will see you guys in the next one.